Picture this. Wooden desks carved with decades of initials, the smell of chalk dust hanging in the air, and the unmistakable sound of a ruler striking a desktop. If your nonna or nonno ever told you stories about their school days and you thought they were exaggerating, they probably weren't. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're stepping into a time machine and traveling back to Italian classrooms of the 1960s. And trust me, what we find there will make you grateful for every single thing about modern education. Let's start with a typical morning. The classroom door swings open, and immediately every student shoots to their feet. Not because they're excited, because they have to. The teacher enters, often in a severe dark suit or dress, and only after a formal greeting can students sit back down. This wasn't just respect. This was military-level discipline. Now imagine you didn't do your homework. In today's schools, maybe you get a warning or have to complete it during break. In 1960s Italy, the bacchetta comes out. That's right, a wooden ruler, and not for measuring. Teachers would strike students' open palms or knuckles for wrong answers, forgotten homework, or even speaking out of turn. The sound of that ruler hitting the desk was enough to make the whole class freeze. But here's where it gets really interesting. Education in the 60s wasn't about understanding or creativity. It was about memory. Students would spend hours memorizing entire pages of history, poetry, and mathematical formulas word for word. You could recite Dante perfectly, but have no idea what it meant. Congratulations, you'd pass. And if you struggled with memorization, well, there was no such thing as learning disabilities back then. You were just stupid or lazy. Dyslexia? Never heard of it. ADHD? You must be a troublemaker. The system had one method, and you either adapted or failed. Many children, especially from working-class families, simply dropped out. Speaking of families, let's talk about something that might surprise you. In 1960s Italian schools, your last name often mattered more than your talent. Teachers knew which families were important, which were wealthy, and which were just getting by. And this knowledge influenced grades. The daughter of a doctor might get away with mistakes that would earn a factory worker's son a failing mark. It wasn't always malicious. It was just how society worked. Education was meant to prepare you for your proper place in life, not to elevate you beyond it. Girls and boys often attended completely separate schools, but even when they didn't, their education was worlds apart. While boys studied mathematics and science to prepare for careers, girls learned embroidery, cooking, and how to be good wives and mothers. The message was clear. A woman's place was in the home, and education should prepare her for that destiny alone. Now, before you think this is all doom and gloom, here's the interesting part. Many Italians who went through this system look back with a strange mix of trauma and pride. They'll tell you it was harsh, even cruel by today's standards, but they'll also say it taught them resilience, respect, and the value of hard work. And you know what? They're not entirely wrong. There's something to be said for high standards and discipline. The problem was the methods, not the goals. Today's Italian schools are almost unrecognizable from those days. Students call teachers by first names, learning disabilities are understood and accommodated, and physical punishment has been illegal for decades. We've traded the ruler for understanding, memorization for critical thinking, and fear for encouragement. Is everything perfect now? Of course not. But when we look back at classrooms where children knelt on chickpeas for punishment, where dialect speakers were shamed, and where your social class determined your future, we can appreciate how far we've come. So here's my question for you. Did your grandparents tell you stories about their school days? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if this video made you grateful for modern education, give it a like and subscribe for more journeys into Italian history. Grazie mille, and I'll see you in the next one.